Our next speaker is the voice of maturity, the sage of wisdom, one of the older people I know. And if he hadn't married into the Dorian family, he would have been prime Aussie material. But his in-laws tolerate no weenies. Steve, I want you to listen and learn from this man, Bob Griffin. Good evening. I was asked to speak tonight for one of two reasons, I'm not sure. Number one, either because I am related to the Ryan family through marriage, or number two, to prove that after 20 years of marriage, a man still knows how to speak. I was informed that I would be roasting Stevie this evening and that I should do everything I could to come up with some cutting remarks, some real filth and dirt, and go for the throat. So I started thinking about Stevie as I've known him over the years. Tobacco, doesn't smoke cigars, cigarettes. Drinking, he has an occasional beer, but he really isn't a drinker. His language is clean. He dresses reasonably well, usually. He's even-tempered. I couldn't think of anything other than lousy throws from shortstop to first base that I could even possibly talk about. I said, this is going to be tough. But his friends came to me in my need and came up with the possibility I might pursue. That possibility is Stephen's testosterone level. For those of you who are not familiar with glandular terminology, what it means is that the boy is horny. He's a horn pup. I told Teresa a couple weeks ago after a softball game, this boy could kill you. He's a sex maniac. The problem was first diagnosed when he was just a little baby. The doctor came to Lorraine and said, we have deviant symptoms here of a disease called seximus infanatum. What that meant was that they had to put barbed wire over all the pink bassinets in the nursery when Stevie was a baby. When Lorraine used to walk through the supermarket, little Stevie sitting in the carrot, every time they go down that aisle that had the Huggies, you know, the pink Huggies with the girls on top, Stevie would jump out of the carriage. You'd have to drag him back in again. It helped him later on in life. He finally went to elementary school. And it was time to learn how to read. Remember the books, Dick and Jane and Spot and all that stuff? Stevie was very quick there because he figured there had to be some extra meaning behind the Dick and Jane books. And shortly thereafter, Walter bought him his first baseball glove for no other reason than to cover his hand. He went to junior high school, things got better. They kicked him out of home ec, told him he could stop hanging around the girls' phys ed classes and things would improve. And they sent him off to high school, where he did well for 2 years, after which he got thrown out of Ursuline Academy. He came back to Norwood High, finished up an illustrious career, and went on for a 2-year stint on the campus that is now called Cedar Junction. Seems Steve was into writing obscene fan mail. Remember Hinckley writing to Jody Bott and all that stuff? Stevie was into the same type of thing, only he was writing to Roseanne Barr. After that, the family decided it might be a good idea if Stevie played a lot of softball. Keep him busy and tired. So he joined every league there is, A, B, C, D, E, F. Stevie joined every league there was, and he kept playing and playing and playing. There was only one team he really enjoyed playing for, though. That was the old Sports Tap. After games, the sports staff, you go back to the bar, have a beer. He could go into the ladies' room and check out the tattoos. I would like to assure you, Teresa, that these problems of which I speak are not genetic. You don't have to worry about this going on from generation to generation. Kathy, sister, without question, we don't even bring her up. Michael assures me that he kissed Debbie twice and has 2 children to show for it. And Bobby told me he doesn't even hold hands until the 3rd date. And being married into this family, I can personally attest for the fact that sexual activity does not go on all throughout this family. Damn it all, it does not go on. Teresa, there are a few things you might keep in mind. Actually, there are 3 things you might keep in mind. Number 1, when cooking for this man, use a lot of saltpeter. Number 2, you might find a job where he has to do an awful lot of traveling. And number 3, remember, help is only a phone call away if you use 911. Best of luck.